When portrayed in the media, the profession of law is oftentimes idealized to show the thrills of litigating a case in court while downplaying the vast majority of time that is actually spent behind legal research and writing. Hey guys, this is Nick with Nick Does DGI, and welcome back to my channel. As implied by the title of this video, I'll be going over why I quit being a lawyer. This is not your typical dividend growth investing video, but I thought that this video was necessary to go over a little bit about my background, as I did dedicate 4 years of my prime 20s. From studying for the law school entrance exam to 3 full years of law school and finally passing the 2-day-long bar exam, these 4 years of my life have been transformative to who I am today and has actually formed the foundation of my investing profile and risk tolerance. I honestly have no idea how long this video will be, so please feel free to stick around if you are interested in hearing this backstory. But I hope you find some value out of this video, and if you would like to support this channel, I appreciate you clicking that like button. So let's get into it. As child of immigrants, certain professions such as doctors, engineers, and lawyers were deemed to be quote-unquote prestigious careers that were instilled in my sibling and I from an early age. Whether I liked it or not, I grew up thinking that I would become a doctor, only for me to flunk out of my pre-med biology courses freshman year of college. Likewise, math and engineering did not come easy to me, therefore I switched my major to business and coasted my way through undergrad with no concrete plans nor aspirations. Shortly thereafter, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and what does any 22-year-old college grad think of to procrastinate settling down on a lifelong career in mundane corporate America? 2 words: law school. 1 year to study for and complete the law school entrance exam called the LSAT, and another year to apply. I had decided to take a 2-year gap period. I maxed out on my 3 LSAT tries and applied to all the nearby schools in California. I ultimately chose a school that nearly gave me a full ride with a decent law school ranking, since I had previously read that the prestige of where you went to school was important. I can remember my first day of law school like it was yesterday. It was civil procedure, and the professor actually played a clip from the infamous movie Legally Blonde, where Elle Woods gets cold called. Then my professor pulled out index cards with each of our faces on them and proceeded to shuffle the cards. Calling the index cards one by one, cold calling had begun. For anyone who doesn't know, cold calling is a Socratic method of seeking class participation, where the professor will randomly call on a student to talk about a case from the reading and grill them relentlessly. For a quiet, timid, shy guy like myself, I thought I was going to pass out from the anxiety. It's honestly a miracle that I made it out alive. My grades were in the middle of the pack during the first year, but I honestly met a ton of lifelong friends, not to mention that I was introduced to my now wife through a law school friend, so no complaints here. During the summers, I gained legal experience working as a research assistant for different professors for their academic research endeavors, as well as being an advocate on behalf of indigent taxpayers appealing state and local tax disputes. Through this opportunity, I got a chance to go beyond my comfort level and interact with clients up and down the state while getting to know their circumstances and life stories throughout the process. And then came the July bar exam, the mother of all exams, culminating in testing more than a dozen test subjects, including business associations, constitutional law, contracts, evidence, remedies, and many more. Administered over 2 days, consisting of 5 essay questions, 1 performance test, and 200 multiple choice questions, this exam was not to be taken lightly. I studied my brains out for 12 plus hours a day for 9 weeks. And just when you think that you can take a sigh of relief after the exam, you have to wait an additional 4 months for results to be published, leaving you in the dark. To bore you with the details, I found out mid-November that I had successfully passed and was sworn in a few weeks later as a fully licensed attorney, but my sobering journey with the world had begun. Over these 4 years, I learned a lot about myself. I finally learned how to study because your course grade was predicated on just one final exam. I learned how to read and analyze arduous amounts of reading materials. I learned a lot about the history of this country and the society at which we live in, predicated upon vast amounts of quote-unquote legalese and trigger-hungry civil litigation. What I was not prepared for, however, was the actual practice of law in the legal field. In the following year of me being sworn in, I had 2 job stints, the first as an associate attorney at a very small civil litigation law firm, and 2 at a large tax resolution company as a tax attorney. At this small law firm, I was offered the position as a litigation associate attorney. The pay was actually decent for a fresh graduate, but something felt off from the very beginning. The job lacked any sort of employee benefits, and I was not even asked to sign a formal employment contract. But I was desperate for work, so I joined nonetheless. But in retrospect, I should have noticed the red flags. There were a reason why there was a huge turnover of law clerks and associate attorneys over the years. Long story short, I did not enjoy working here, and I truly felt miserable for the first time in my life. If you thought law school and the bar exam was bad, this experience was 10 times worse and wreaked havoc for my mental health. I gave notice and quickly left this position. A few months later, I joined a national tax resolution company thinking that it would be similar to my experiences working at the summer clinic helping taxpayers with their local state tax matters. What I got, however, was a huge volume of case files dumped onto my desk during my first week. There were previously 3 tax attorneys on deck, but the third was leaving, and I was the replacement, inheriting over 450 active cases. Because clients were located all over the country, I felt like I was a call center operator because I was constantly on the phone for more than 6+ hours a day, often on hold with the IRS or local state taxing authority. Because the manpower was so spread out, I felt that I could not give each client the best duty of care and competence that I can offer. Oftentimes, I would simply pull up a case file, read the notes for 30 seconds, and attempt a resolution with the opposition party. As you can imagine, with everyone so spread thin, the company received a ton of complaints, but instead of taking steps to improve the workload for the tax attorneys and specialists, such as hiring additional personnel, management instead mandated the sales teams to continue bringing in more clients, promising swift tax remedies for their issues. All in all, I felt like our voices were not heard and that my morals did not align with the values of this company. I certainly felt compassion and fulfillment helping certain clients navigate through complex tax matters, but I had my fair share of clients who I felt like were intentionally avoiding paying their taxes and expecting the company and myself as a tax attorney to get rid of all their back taxes. All of this occurred right as the pandemic began to unravel early last year. I left and took on an advisory role for my family business, as well as other friends and family as the impacts of the pandemic became apparent, but that is another video topic in itself. In essence, the pandemic was a major catalyst for me to quit being a lawyer in the formal sense. As much as I enjoyed learning about the law, practicing law was not my cup of tea, and I'm glad that I had multiple opportunities to confirm this belief. And fortunately, I had a very generous academic scholarship that paid for nearly all of the tuition costs. As the sharks on Shark Tank would say, for those reasons, I'm out. This trajectory led me to eventually create this YouTube channel. After many months of lockdown, I wanted to create an outlet to share my knowledge of personal finance, real estate, and dividend growth investing, because at the end of the day, I was most passionate about learning about investing and bettering one's financial future. I have been fortunate enough to make videos on the side while taking some time off as my wife and I prepare to have our first kid and daughter within mere weeks of this video. I can't wait to be a first-time girl dad and teach her all about the principal tenets of personal finance and money. I will continue to be a dividend growth investor and showcase the growth of my DGI portfolio on this YouTube channel. I'll cover all of the dividends paying me each month and cover other aspects of the financial markets. My years of legal education have shaped who I am as an investor today. You often hear stereotypes about how lawyers are skeptical about just about everything and dissect every single little thing, and I would agree that there's some truth to that. I've been conditioned to analyze A through Z before making a decision, so I think I've gotten a little bit more conservative over the years. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are still tuning in at this point of the video, but thank you for taking the time out of your day or night to listen to my experiences as a licensed attorney. If you have any questions about becoming a lawyer or really just anything investment related, just please feel free to comment down below. Please note that this video is not intended as financial, legal, nor any other professional advice and should be regarded as entertainment. Past performance is no guarantee of future results, and please take the information with a grain of salt. Please do your own research and due diligence when deciding to invest in investable securities. If you found this video helpful, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell notification To receive an alert on all the latest videos, the YouTube algorithm likes these sorts of engagements and helps my channel get shown on more home pages. Until next time, take care.